Hey, this is Chris Jericho, and you're listening to the Shout It Out Loudcast. They're going to give you a reason to live, make you feel like you're the king of the mountain, and when it's all said and done, they're going to dance all over your face. Oh, yeah! We got some good-looking girls! Oh, yeah!
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Shout It Out Loudcast, bonus episode 4. Don't turn your radio dial. You're in the right place. We're calling this one Follow Us into the Super Unknown, if you dare. Zeus, Tommy, how are you? Zeus, do your entrance.
What? What are you talking about? I don't know any entrance.
Good
morning.
only.
Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. We're recording on an early Sunday Easter morning for those that celebrate. So what better way to celebrate than with a dark, dreary, and depressing grunge album from the 90s?
That's perfect. So I am excited because it's my turn to pick an album. And yes, I picked Soundgarden Superunknown. We'll get into all that stuff. But first, I guess I'd ask, how you doing over there, Mr. Morning Person in California?
We're doing good, man. You know, just staying at home. I think we're at day 24 or something like that.
I've lost track. I have no idea what day it is. All I know is I can tell how long this has been going on by checking how long my beard is growing every day. That's pretty much the only tracking mechanism I have. I don't even know what today. I know today's Easter because somebody told me it was, but I don't know. It's crazy.
Tommy's got the beard growing even more. Looking good.
Yeah, a lot of gray in there.
I know. What are you going to do? It's not coming off until life is back to normal. So there's a good chance I could look like Dumbledore or Grizzly Adams by the time we get our lives back.
Yeah, right. Grizzly Adams had a beard.
Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
Hey, guys, before we move any further, this is our 4th episode. I wrote it down, and I told us before we move on that we need to thank good friend of the show, Tony Musalam, from Restrained for this awesome entrance music that he did for us.
Yeah, it's about time. Fourth time's the charm, because every episode we always forget. But Tony, as always, thank you so much for that incredible intro. And, Restrained, we always sing the praises of them too. So
yeah, Tony, I told him over and over and over, just forget about it. Don't even thank them. I usually erase it from the notes. That's why they keep forgetting. Somehow I didn't have control of the notes today. So thank you, you fuck.
There we go. There's the love.
Tony is awesome. And everybody go give Restrained a listen. Great band. They do a good job. Please try them out. Tell us what you think. And Tony, again, we appreciate it. So we found out how we're doing. Let's talk about last month's episode, right? What did we do?
Yeah, we did Van Halen OU812, polarizing album. People enjoy the episode.
The crowd seems to love this.
I think polarizing albums get some involvement because it's not like, oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Kind of like this episode could potentially be polarizing as well, because we all know how certain people feel about grunge, and but I think Soundgarden and Chris Cornell are, genuinely liked by many people.
At least respected.
Correct. Yep.
I would say respected, liked by some. It's kind of weird because some of the guys that don't like grunge, and I only like about 20% of it too. If Soundgarden connected them to the 80s stuff they were listening to, and it was like the next evolution, then like me, you're kind of into it. If they kind of saw Soundgarden as, well, you killed the music I was listening to, then they just labeled them as grunge and they weren't into it at all. Might as well be disco or rap or whatever else. Doesn't matter to them. Since it's grunge and it's not 80s, I ain't listening kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, and the timeline's interesting because OU812 came out in '88. Now we're veering into the mid '90s. So this is our first. This is our first classic hard rock album that we're venturing into. So I have a feeling it probably won't be the last.
Yeah, and a little bit different from the last few albums we've done, especially I would say like the popish kind of Van Halen stuff that was going on, happy-go-lucky music of feels so good, right? Of OU812. I thought that we got a lot of different opinions about the songs. We had Daryl Alber, who does a lot of the marketing and social media content for Pantheon Podcast, took a nice clip and spiced it together of Sonny saying pure pop perfection, and then Tommy like, this song sucks. And I thought it was perfect. This is why we do these type of episodes, to have different opinions. We're not one of these, hey, it's the fucking circle jerk room. Hey, what do you think of this song? Oh, it's the best. What do you? Hey, this is awesome. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. What's the next song? Oh, I love this too. I like that you guys differ, and I know I differ from both of you guys. Me and Tom always differ, but it was great, and I thought that kind of shined. This time, I usually go with more with Tom in some of his opinions, even though we don't agree on much. But this time I was more with Sonny, and Tom was further away from us. Think of the songs that we picked as our favorites, right?
Yeah, and Tom was just wrong. That's what it was. Tom was wrong, and we were right.
I think I had one or two people in my corner agreeing that Sucker in a Three-Piece is a fucking great song.
So one or two out of 350 million.
And having my own flesh and blood standing there laughing at me when I laid in a puddle of my own blood and piss was awful. I'm so hurt in my stomach with this.
Hey, I'll take that. One or two, that's all I need. I need some validation from some people. But a lot of the things that people said, like Zeus was saying, the feedback was, the album is polarizing. But I think one common thread that everybody agreed on was Sammy just sounds unbelievable on the album. Whether or not people actually liked the actual songs was, a different story for sure.
Yeah, it was. I saw one comment that said, "You guys are doing a Van Halen album and you picked this shit."
That's exactly. But like Zeus said, how easy would it have been to do the debut album or Van Halen 2 or eventually, we'll get to those, but we wanted to start mixing up a little bit. We started off with Appetite for Destruction. We did slide it in. So let's shake it up a little bit and get some differing opinions. And, these are albums that we love. Maybe some of us love them or like them a little bit different, like Superunknown. So.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was a great pick, Sonny. It wasn't the slam dunk. Hey, tell us what you think of Van Halen 1. Although we might get to it, I'm just saying, I thought it was nice to change it up and to give you guys kind of an understanding how we're thinking. We're not going to just give you the slam dunks. We're going to go off track a little bit. Who knows what we might come up with? And hence our first grunge album today. Before we do get into the album, though, anything going on in the music world other than everything being canceled and everybody staying at home?
There's some people doing some streaming, right? I saw the Eclipse stream. It was cool. Just saw a Sammy thing. They did Won't Get Fooled Again. They ran like a 2-minute clip. It was pretty cool. Some of them are doing it professional. Aaron Lee from Y&T just did an hour the other day. Some are doing professional. Some are doing, via iPhone and trying to make it look as professional as possible. Some just turn their iPhone on and go. But I'm enjoying some of it.
Did you pay $10,000 like BB did to stream a video of a concert?
I didn't, because I don't need bearded Zach tugging at me from under the table, because I'm assuming that's what the $10,000 is for. How much would you be willing to pay for a 90-minute stream of your favorite band this Saturday night?
Zach, what'd you pay?
I don't even know. 10 grand.
10 grand?
I don't even know.
No, it is. It is. We've talked about it before on our Kiss episodes. Everybody has seen the Paul Stanley, the Bruce Kulick videos. But like Sonny said, this is the only way for these bands to kind of stay. I don't want to say stay relevant. That's probably strong language, but for them to continue to interact with their fans and let their fans know that, hey, we're still here. We love you guys. We're going to do the best that we can to try to keep you guys entertained, give you something. I'm friends with some people on Facebook that are big pop or country music fans, and some of those artists are doing in-home little performances. So it's the best we're going to get right now. Unfortunately everybody is communicating via Skype or Zoom. My wife the other night was all of her lady friends from college had a huge Zoom little reunion. It's the only way to do it. And I know we got together the other night with a bunch of guys on Skype, and it's the way we got to do it until further notice.
Yeah. While we have Sonny here, I just thought of this. Me and Tommy are apologizing by the absolutely brutal taking you've been getting shit for a lot of the questions you posed on our couple previous episodes ago as our game show host. So anything you want to say in your defense, Sonny?
I apologize for any angst I may have caused you, said the listener. No, when you're making up the game shows, and anybody who's done it, Aaron Camaro does it on Decibel Geek, Dylan does it on Potter Than Hell. You're trying to come up with these questions, and I don't super know all the players. Like if it was just me and Tone and a couple of our friends, I know exactly what they know, so I know where I can go with it. So you're trying to put it together, and you're like, man, I don't want it to be so easy to get it on the second clue. So then you start spinning off that, and before you know it, because you've been working on it, it seems simple to you until you share it with somebody.
Until you share it with somebody, and one of the questions is, I share a birthday with Mandy Moore.
The month and the year that Mandy Moore was born was very important to me.
Are you fucking serious? And everyone's like, how the fuck would guys on a Kiss podcast know Mandy Moore's birthday? But that being said, it was a ton of fun. I think the fact that the questions were kind of all over the place made it like fun. Like it was entertaining for sure.
I like that somebody else gets more shit than I get sometimes from the feedback. So I'm serving this one up right now, but I'm going to add to that because we also did our Kiss quarantine house. And I want to bring this point up. So I put you, because you're the Ace guy of the group here, in that house with Ace. And who was it, Tom? Somebody said, I want to be in the house with Sonny the Chimp.
I
and me and Tom were like, somebody called him a monkey or a chimp? And I thought about it, and I looked it up, and I was correct. It's Sonny the Chimp. They thought it was Sonny the Chimp from the Exposed video that supposedly, and because I Googled it, and then somebody wrote, and it was, I don't know if it was a Reddit or something. Somebody asked this question, like a clueless Kiss fan. Hey, whatever happened to Paul Stanley's best friend, the monkey Sonny? Like, not his fucking best friend.
I forgot about that. That is unbelievable. Oh my God.
I'm going to the beach. You taking Sonny?
Do you remember that little monkey hole scene?
No, absolutely. Yeah,
Oh
but
my
I'll be honest with you. There was no way I would have remembered that his name was Sonny until we figured it out.
I thought he called him Sonny Crockett. And he had like a little Miami Vice.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah. And somebody thought that's who it was in the house.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
But
Jesus.
as bad as you got shit from that, this week's episode that just played, you got another couple jabs from our friend, and I have to take responsibility. I set these things up for him, and I'm just always like, so we lost some of the audio, unfortunately, And I could have just let it be, but I know that some of the audio was lost when he had said something about you, Sonny. So before we ended the episode with Jericho, I had to say again, hey, anything last say to our friend Sonny Pooney? So here's your response, buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah. Jericho and I have never met. I thought it was funny. I thought it was absolute hilarity. Shit. Just vote for me to get me to the finals and then blow me away. I'm good with that. I'm good with being number 2. I don't care. But no, it was hilarious. I'm like, Jericho, I've done nothing to you. What's wrong with you? You fuck.
It's now such an imaginary love-hate relationship. It's just entertaining now.
Yeah, because I'm gonna hug him the minute if I ever meet him. I'm just gonna go up without even saying anything and just bear hug him and then whisper in his ear, "I'm fucking Sonny Pooney."
There you go.
But he sells that shit, like these imaginary wars, like he did in that clip, the Vanguard one, where he's fighting with the fucking
the drone
and shit. So now you're like his imaginary enemy in this fake fucking Cold War you got going on. I just think it's hilarious.
The biggest pumpkin-headed dipshit I've ever met in my life.
And for people out there, no, they don't know each other. He's just joking. He doesn't hate Sonny, but I just think it's funny that this thing keeps going on and on. Yep. Anyways, but speaking, since we're talking to like the horniest man we know, anything you want to talk about today right now, Sonny?
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff to spice up your bedroom is even better. Select almost any one item for 50% off, and then Adam and Eve loads on the free stuff. Enter promo code LOUDCAST at checkout and get 10 tantalizing free gifts. A sexy item for him, a special gift for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy. And 6 free spicy movies, plus free shipping. That's promo code LOUDCAST at adamandeve.com.
Excellent. But I think we need to clarify for the listeners, because I know Sonny was upset about this. Those aren't VHS videos from the 80s that Adam and Eve is giving you. I think these are like real, updated, I don't know if they have a back catalog, where you can go into their storeroom and pull out those 1982 videos that you like to watch on your VCR.
Where there's scenes repeat and repeat and repeat.
To make it,
you don't remember that?
To make it look like the guy's lasting a long time.
Yeah.
So 1991, I went to Montreal with, hey, Frobo.
Oh, God.
We come back and we're in a porn place in Montreal, which I don't know. I'm 18, 19 years old then, didn't have capability doing there. And I see, because I could only think of names, a fucking video with like the biggest fucking cock just hanging out of it. The title says John Holmes' Greatest Hits. You remember this?
Oh, God.
I'm like, I gotta get this. I get it. And then all the parents had come. It was like football weekend or something. Do you remember, in the hallway?
Yeah.
And I think, because I think I'm funny and this amuses me, I take the cover off.
I remember.
And I just throw it in the fucking hallway. All the parents walking by, they only see this box with John Holmes' big dick. John Holmes' Greatest Hits.
Honey, why is your video here? I thought we left that at home.
And I'll never forget that shit. We were all watching it, and the scenes, and then it's like, I was drunk off of cock.
Well, that's a Tracy Lord special one. Let's not get into that. That'll be our bonus episode for next month. We'll break down some classic videos.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
You remember that? That was in that video.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Stay on target.
No good, I can't maneuver.
Stay on target.
We're too close.
Stay on target.
Yeah. Thank you. I got to write the clip. So, circling back, steering the car. Okay. Let's talk about Superunknown. So this was my pick. I chose this one because it has a special
what?
place, and for me, because during college how I got this album, and we always talk about our first interaction with the song or an album. I went with, I think it was Tom, and who else was it?
You went with me. Go ahead.
Okay. And we went to Harvard Square. Was that where we went, or was it downtown Crossing or something?
I think it might have been downtown Boston. It would have one of those places like Planet Records or Nuggets or one of those used where you could get like before stuff was released to the masses, or maybe like a bootleg version or whatever. But we used to go into Boston and Harvard Square all the time for those.
Yeah. And I got what is the promotional copy of that CD. It had just come out. At this point, Nirvana's Nevermind's been out, Pearl Jam, Core, all these things have been out. I already had Bad Motorfinger, so I already knew who Soundgarden was. I bought this thing. I immediately fell in love with it. It quickly became on my 5-disc player that I was cranking. So gone are, I don't know what I had back then, Bon Jovi, whatever, and all the other CDs, and all of a sudden goes in my 5-disc changer. Superunknown, Purple, Nevermind, Alice in Chains, Sap, or Jar of Flies, and I don't know, Siamese from
Siamese Dream.
From Smashing Pumpkins. Well, what was the other one? I think maybe the single soundtrack. I think that's what was rotating in my changer back then.
Absolutely.
And that was what was going on back then. This brooding, depressing music, and it kind of was. This album really exposed me even more to, this is it. This is the change. This is what we're listening to now. This is what we're looking forward to getting when the albums come out. I'm not looking for a Poison album. I'm looking for this.
This is Kissel.
So you guys want to tell us a little bit about your first take with this album?
Yeah, so like Zeus said, my first experience with this album was with Zeus when we got that promo copy and we put it in. And this was back in the old days when you would get a CD and you would just sit there and listen to it. And I remember, because like Zeus said, 94, we were already knee deep in the grunge movement. We were all over it. We had Bad Motorfinger. That was like the first kind of breakthrough album for Soundgarden. I know they had albums before that, but they were still kind of underground, kind of a little bit, I don't even think they were really considered grunge at that time. Bad Motorfinger put them on the map with Outshined and Rusty Cage. And, we were into that. And then you hear Superunknown, and you could just tell the difference in arrangement, production, content, lyrics, et cetera. And it just became a staple. I mean, you're talking 26 years later, and the album is just friggin' amazing. I mean, we're going to get into it track by track, and we understand that grunge. The problem I have with grunge is that a lot of these bands cannot get out of that grunge description, whereas hair bands can kind of overflow into classic hard rock, classic metal. You hear people call Def Leppard a hair band, or Guns N' Roses a hair band, or Bon Jovi is a hair band, but they're still 80s rock. For some reason, these bands cannot get out of that shell of grunge. And, I guess it is what it is, the nature of the music. You can't really Superunknown, or grunge in general, but especially this album. This is not the kind of album that you're going to throw on in the middle of a party, or, when I go outside in the summer and I'm doing yard work, I'm probably going to throw on Appetite for Destruction before I throw on Superunknown. That being said, it's to me, and especially for Zeus and I and our college friends, we started college in the fall of 91, a month after Pearl Jam's 10 came out. So we were there for the birth. We lived with grunge. And this is one of those albums that just very important to us, and I still love it to this day.
Yeah, I'm a big believer that, that whole high school, early college is kind of your bang zone for music. So if you think about it, if that year was 84 for you, or 88 for you, or 93 for you, in that 10 years, music changed big time, right? It went from like Rebel in 84 to Decadence in 88 to, hey, it's not easy being a fucking teenager in 93, right? So all three connected in a weird way. For me, I'm a little older than you guys. So I remember when I first saw the Man in the Box video, I'm like, okay, I really like that, but that ain't what I was listening to. Like music's about to change. This is going to be a problem, because by the time 91 comes around, my music is starting to die off, because I graduated in 86, right? So I'm in the middle of this decadence thing, and I'm in California. So grunge, even though you would think, well, it's a West Coast thing, something happens in Seattle, it doesn't happen in California. That's not how it works out, right? We were still living decadence while that shit was going on in Seattle. And same thing for me. I loved Outshined. The minute I heard Cornell's voice, I'm like, oh man, I am a sucker for a powerful, emotional voice. I am a sucker for that. And you add some melody to it, oh fuck, I'm in. So like Outshined and Jesus Christ Pose, since we're on Easter Sunday, was two of my favorites. So when this album came out, I got it the week it came out. I only like about 20% of grunge though. I mean, my go-tos are Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, and Soundgarden, because it was the closest to what I was listening to. I cannot stand Nirvana. Pearl Jam is a close second. Cannot stand those two guys, because it goes from this sludgy Sabbath kind of sounding guitar rock to just depressing jump off a fucking bridge shit. I just can't do it.
Yeah, Pearl Jam and Nirvana, I know they were considered grunge, but they're very, very different than Alice in Chains and Soundgarden. Alice in Chains and Soundgarden are born out of metal, or sludgy hard rock. Pearl Jam is born out of classic rock with a little bit of art rock later on with some alternative infusion. And there's obviously some of that with Soundgarden, but the DNA in Alice in Chains and Soundgarden is like is metal pretty much, and that's why you hear a lot of people say what you just said, Sonny. I love Alice in Chains, I love Soundgarden. Some of the other bands don't do it for me. Nirvana is born out of a punk aesthetic, so it's different, but they all got thrown into that melting pot of grunge, and it allows you to kind of pick and choose what you want.
Yeah, I'm for me, listening to this album, and I told you guys before I did the Cobras and Fires sidecast with Baco, and he's doing a top 25 list of the Rolling Stones greatest grunge albums. And, Rolling Stone picking albums of anybody's taste is just garbage in and of itself. But it's still giving some light to some of those albums. But, they just think way too hard in such pretentious fucking lists. But for me, I got back into it. I'm like, and I remembered why I was such a huge fan. You lose it, since we started our KISS podcast. I've been listening to you guys, and Growing Up Rock. I listened to the guys in Hotter Than Hell. It's all back to that metal stuff that I was listening to, those bands I fell in love with junior high and high school. But this era does not get discussed much, does not have a lot of podcasts about it, because, it's just like one of those things that, what was that awful... very liberal radio, Air America.
Oh yeah,
people don't want to hear people just bitching about shit all the time, and I feel like if you listen to it, it's like that you can't talk about it without being like, yeah, this is where he sings about suicide, this is where he talks about this. Yeah, I know those are themes, but you can still talk about it in a positive light. And I think there's so much, it's so easy to just say, oh, that's just depressing shit. Oh, that's fucking awful. And just wrap it up in there. But it's not. It's still the music. It's just like Kiss. Oh, Kiss is silly. Kiss does it's still the music. How does it make you feel? That's how I feel about this stuff. And for me, this album is, it's still one of my favorite albums of all time, any genre.
And listening to this album, like whenever we do an album review, whether it's this or Kiss or whatever, I've been spending so much time every time I go for a run for the last week or two. I've just been listening to this and paying close attention to not just the music, which we all know, but listen to the lyrics and the album. At the risk of sounding a little bit melodramatic, the album is so much more haunting, knowing what Chris Cornell did, and those feelings and emotions have been with him since day one. When you listen to the lyrics, you listen to the topics of these songs, and it just makes it so much more chilling to hear, especially when there is a song on this album called Like Suicide. It just adds a different kind of experience for me listening to the album. But that being said, to me, it's a fantastic record. And I think like Zeus said, nobody talks about this. I think grunge, when you take a genre like hair metal, grunge, grunge kind of fell off the map, not necessarily in my opinion because people got sick of the tone or the lyrics, etc. I think it's the same thing that happened with hair bands. You had all these nickel and dime bands ripping off, trying to sound like Eddie Vedder, trying to sound like Kurt Cobain, all these one-hit wonders. They were releasing CDs, and I think people are like, all right, we get it. It's the same thing what happened with in my opinion, with hair bands. It's like, all right, I get it. We don't need to hear Vinnie Vincent Invasion. We don't need to hear Pretty Boy Floyd anymore. It all started with bands that had something to say, and now it just became, rote. I mean, for us, listening to the Boston rock stations, it's like, this doesn't sound like Pearl Jam. Oh, but it's like a Pearl Jam ripoff. And it kind of just sinks those niche genres. But albums like this survive because they are such high quality, in my opinion.
Yeah, to me, it had a clock anyway, because I think the difference between wanting to be a rebel and wanting that life of decadence that was the 80s and you're listening to it and it's fun. This stuff is like, okay, well, I feel like this sometimes and they're connecting with the way I feel. But I go to music to forget about that shit, right? So this stuff had a clock on it anyway and has a time and place. And like you said, it ain't getting played. The Spoon Man might get played at a party, but nothing else on this is getting played at a party.
Right. And go ahead, Zeus. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, Tom, it was, well said what you were saying. Well said. What makes this more haunting, it's not as obvious as Kurt Cobain, no, I don't have a gun. Right. And then in the height of his popularity, he kills himself in a suicide. What makes this haunting is that we forgot about a lot of this stuff. And we pick up this album 10 years later and we re-listening to it and being like, holy shit, way back then, there were signs. We didn't think of the signs back then, and he was obviously not writing to be like, all right, I had a great day, but okay, let me think of something negative. I mean, there are so many parts of this album where he's talking about something, but then his mind, like, it can go away from you like that. Like, you don't want to be depressed, but you're having a great time and a great life, and then all of a sudden it fucking hits you. And there are theories and there's interviews. If you look back, if a lot of the interviews, he talks about it constantly. It's almost like he's giving you hints where he's just constantly saying, yeah, life is great. It sucks about Kurt. It sucks about what's his name from his buddy from Temple of the Dog.
Andy Wood from Mother Love Bone.
And just talks about this stuff. And then all of a sudden he comes and he talks about the real struggle. And then obviously he succumbed to it.
And I think it's too bad. I think you bring up a good point too. I think not that this makes it better or not that this is something that you should be striving for, but this album is authentic. This isn't
absolutely.
This isn't someone trying to be a downtrodden and depressed grunge 90s band to sell records. I think this is Chris Cornell like opening up a fucking vein for 15 songs on an album right here and like pouring it all out with the band,
Yeah. And the other kind of elephant in the room is, if you think about it, all those bands that I mentioned to you that I would put on that 5-disc changer, Temple of the Dog, lead singer, gone. Stone Temple Pilots, probably my favorite of all the bands back then. Scott Weiland, gone. Nirvana, my co-favorite, Kurt Cobain, gone.
Alice in Chains,
Lane Staley,
gone.
Right?
Yep.
I know we're missing somebody else. Blind Melon, Shannon Hoon, right?
Shannon Hoon, gone.
Gone. When you wake in the morning, gone. When you find that there's no one sleeping, gone.
I mean, think about the big four are gone. I mean, that's insane. That's like, I don't know, Paul Stanley, David Lee Roth, and all these guys dying at the same time. That's insane. So the music also died. Look, after a while, years is what kills music. People change. Trends change. So Pearl Jam is not doing 10 part 2. They've changed, but they're the only ones still around. So, yeah, the music kind of died. Who else is going to be playing that type of style of music?
Well,
all the lead singers are gone.
And the thing about Pearl Jam, and that's why Pearl Jam is much, much different than these bands, because those guys, nobody in that band, and if they did, they kept it secret. Nobody in those and Pearl Jam was at the time had a problem with heroin had a problem with I mean, Lane Staley, I mean, goddamn, you think Superunknown is a bad depressing album? Go listen to Dirt by Alice in Chains. You may be addicted to heroin by the time you get to the last track on that album. I mean, that's brutal. But Pearl Jam is, that's why I put them aside. They're more in the classic rock band type of thing that was born out of grunge. But that Eddie Vedder, I mean, for all of his issues, I mean, that he's a musician, he's an artist, he's a lyricist. Not to say that Chris Cornell isn't, but I think a lot of these bands used their music to deal with their addiction and to deal with their depression and to deal with their mental health. And unfortunately, it got to the point where the music wasn't enough, Even with all that, they got Vedder using plastic utensils now. He's been using like plastic forks and knives. He's wrapped in bubble wrap just in case. He's the last of a dying few.
It's true. The other part of it is, Jeff Ament is like, probably, even though Eddie Vedder is the lead singer and face, Jeff Ament kind of runs Pearl Jam, and he is probably one of the happiest go lucky grunge era type people. So I think that kind of helps the band. Mike McCready's a little bit whatever. Stone Gossard, I mean, there's a few. I think, was it Stone Gossard that had the drinking problem? One of them did, but regardless, the drummer did too as well when they booted his ass out. But they're not crazy heroin addicts. The other one still around is what's his name there? Smashing Pumpkins.
Billy Corgan.
Yeah, he's the only one still too alive. But he fucking went off the deep end. Last thing I knew, he was in fucking TNA wrestling, becoming like a wrestling promoter. What the fuck?
Yeah, but Pearl Jam, like you said, like Mike McCready, great guitar. I mean, he's an Ace Frehley fan. He likes Kiss, and speaking of the band, speaking of Pearl Jam, we'll get into this, but Matt Cameron, longest tenured drummer in the history of Pearl Jam, is the drummer on Superunknown.
Absolutely, he contributed a lot. Talk about real quick the album cover.
Okay,
so the lyrics are in here, which is great. Mine's the promotional CD.
Yep.
It has, each page is nice. This is why I love CDs. This is why I don't want to download shit. And, looking this over, taking a look at each song has its own kind of page, dark foreboding, image in the background, lyrics, who's written by. It's just interesting. The front is a picture called Screamin' Elf cover. It's a distorted photo of the band with an upside down burning fire. And if you notice, the drummer got cropped out of the photo.
Yep.
He's not even in on this.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's interesting, but now it's iconic, but it wasn't something that I'm like, oh my God, this is insane.
No.
It fits what you're about to hear, though. It totally fits what you're about to hear. Yep. There's no doubt about it, right? I mean, if they would have had a naked lady with stars on her nipples, dancing, it wouldn't have been the same, right? So,
yeah, a black and white cover with an upside down burning forest with the lead singer screaming. You know what you're getting yourself into, And Chris Cornell even says about the cover. He says, Superunknown relates to birth in a way, being born or even dying, getting flushed into something that you know nothing about. The hardest thing to nail down a visual image to put on a title like that. First thing we thought of was a forest in gray or black. He also says that the inspiration for the title of the album came from him when he misread a video. There was a video called Super Clown.
Yeah, let me speak to Sparky.
Speaking.
Sparky the Clown. How you doing, Fruitcake?
Not too bad. Who's this?
He said, I thought it was a cool title. I never heard it before, never saw it, and it inspired me. So yeah, the album cover, like Zeus said, it's kind of haunting. We keep using that word, but it's an interesting cover.
So Sonny, you don't think that the four members kind of in the exact same getup and look as Asylum would have been a good cover for this album?
Even if you use in the album jacket, it's a picture of the four of them, right? Just a normal band picture. None of them are smiling or nothing like that. But even that on the front cover wouldn't have worked because you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah. It's all distorted and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is kind of makes you think the Superunknown, what the fuck's going on? And, all that shit.
For years, and looking at it, it's one of those things like if you see like an image on Facebook, it's like, once somebody tells you what the image is, now you can't not see it. But for years, I used to think that the album cover was Chris Cornell's face in the middle, and then the orange images to the left and to the right of him, which we now know are faces of the band. I used to think that those were Chris Cornell's arms.
Same here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it was
Same
flames.
Okay,
I thought they
it
were
was
flames.
his arms up in the air as he was screaming. And when I found out that it was the faces of the band, I was like, no, that can't be right. But yeah, that's amazing.
How could it be his arms? What's his left arm is like a stump?
Well, I thought
on fire. I thought they were like his arms on fire.
I thought like right now we're an audio podcast, but right now I have my arms up. I thought it was like him just kind of flailing his arms as he was screaming.
Yeah. No, I same thing, but his arms were like he was like melting, like the guy from fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like,
Right. Yep.
So that's what I thought. Now, let's get into a little bit of the facts on this album.
Okay.
So recorded July through September of 1993, released March 8th, 1994. Think about a month after Kurt Cobain died. A month before Kurt Cobain died.
Exactly. Yep. He died April 94. Yep.
Yeah. It was produced by Michael Beinhorn, if I'm saying it right, and Soundgarden. And the producer had done like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Soul Asylum, Hole, Ozzy, Violent Femmes, The Cult. It was mixed by Brendan O'Brien, who's done everything during that era, who produced my favorite album there by STP, Purple. And he did a lot of Pearl Jam stuff.
Absolutely.
And he was brought in because Jeff Ament recommended him to bring in like some fresh ears to listen to. Actually, Stone Gossard.
Stone Gossard.
Yeah, I take that back. Recommend him to bring in some fresh ears to see something different, to hear something.
Open your fucking ears, jackass.
And apparently he did such a good job, and they commend him as usual. It debuted at number 1. They released 5 singles: Spoon Man, Black Hole Sun, The Day I Tried to Live,
My Wave,
Fell on Black Days, and My Wave, right?
Yep.
Those are the 5 singles. That wasn't chronological. I think Spoon Man and Black Hole Sun won Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
The album went on to become platinum 5 times. 9 million albums sold worldwide. It's number 9 on Rolling Stone's shit list of 50 greatest grunge albums. 15 songs, 70 minutes long. Just like we need, Tom, another fucking 70-minute, 15-long album review.
This is Soundgarden's Hot in the Shade.
No.
I'm kidding.
And they kept the 15 songs because Chris Cornell said he didn't want to fight about what they had to cut.
They should have fought some.
I agree, and we'll get to that.
They should have fought. Yeah, you could have got this down
disagree.
to 10.
No.
There's a lot, if you listen to the earlier stuff, as Tom mentioned, they were more hard rock metal type. And this is a little bit more, experimental, less punk and metal, but a little bit more pop and psychedelic, they were saying. There's different influences in there. There's Beatles influence, Indian, Middle Eastern. I think some Zeppelin stuffers in there. And they use some experimental sounds in the tuning and the way the instruments were played. The lyrics are dark, mysterious. Substance abuse, suicide, depression, revenge, annihilation, seclusion, fear, loss, death, discovery.
All the good stuff to play at a party.
Absolutely. Everything that Kiss albums are about.
Well, Carnival of Souls, maybe.
Well said.
So one thing about this album, and we talked about this when we talked about OU812, Van Halen, how Sammy carries that album a lot. This album right here would be impossible to exist with any other vocalist other than Chris Cornell. These songs would not be able to exist because the combination of the musicianship, the songwriting, the format of the songs, the production, Chris Cornell is just mind blowing on this album. This is the peak of him, I think. And another thing, I'm a huge fan of Kim Thale. I think he's a tremendously underrated guitarist, and it brings to me what I talked about, how grunge gets stuck in that category. You can take 80s hair bands and talk about those guitarists and put them up against some of the best. George Lynch, yeah, he was in Dokken, but he's amazing. No one is going to say, oh, Kim Thale, but he's in Soundgarden. That's a grunge band.
Yeah, but he was also in Witchboard as the murderer of Malfaded.
Yeah,
that's who he looks like. Because
he does
bug me. Like, who the fuck? Why is he so scary to me?
Yep.
That's who he looks like. Except he doesn't have as much white in his beard.
Carlos Malfaded was a fairly notorious mass murderer in his day. He killed 9 people, chopped them all up with an axe.
Yep.
You remember that movie?
Oh, absolutely.
Who was in that, Sonny?
No clue.
Tawny Katane.
You've never seen Witchboard?
No, I've seen the movie. She was in the movie.
She's the main character. Yeah.
I don't remember that. Then maybe I saw the wrong movie.
Yeah, the axe murderer that came back from the dead, Malfaded. That's Kim Thale.
And then we talked about Matt Cameron, who's now gone on to be, after Soundgarden he left him, he's still the drummer of Pearl Jam. I mean, he's fantastic on this too. This album deserves the accolades that it gets, because it's the musicianship, the songwriting, the performance. It's a really well put together album. Whether or not you're a fan of grunge, that's you to decide. But this is a Mount Rushmore grunge album, and the fact that it's only number 7 on Rolling Stone's list is embarrassing. Is embarrassing. This should be top 3 or 4 at least.
Did you say Mount Rushmore? Oh, we got a lot of pain coming.
Oh boy,
we got a lot of pain coming.
But see, this is good. This is good because Zeus and I, we're the grunge people. Sonny, he's on record as saying he's not a huge fan all the time. So this is going to be good because there's going to be a lot of love and there's going to be a lot of ugh. So I'm ready for it.
Yeah. So one of the things, and it's going to be a common theme you're going to hear me say, and you're going to be sick of me saying it throughout this album, is Chris Cornell's vocals. He's what I call a phone book singer.
Yep.
Give him the phone book. He can make it. He can sing it in perfect. He makes a lot of songs that if you put anybody else singing, you'd be like, this song sucks. What the fuck is this? I can listen to it because he makes it. Just his vocals, that range. There's something about his voice that he can go from that monotone to that pit and come right back down to it, not break a stride, nothing. He can take a fucking single word and the syllables in it will have different like octaves all over the place. It's that's why I know you get annoyed by this, Tommy, but that's why I like George Jones in country music. He is the George Jones of fucking rock music. He can take a fucking one word that's a one syllable word and make it fucking 5 syllables by the way he sings. It's insane. And it makes a single sentence that could be a throwaway line to any other musician. And he makes you like, that's my favorite part of the song because the way he sings that. Just listen to Fell on Black Days and we'll get to that.
Yep.
Just one little hiccup in the voice that he does. It's like, oh my God, it gives me chills. It's fucking insane. He's out of this world. And this album cements it for me. And you're going to get sick of me talking about the vocals, but
no, it's okay.
I had to say it. But anything else you guys want to say about the era, the music, the album, anything before we get started?
No, let's get into the tracks.
All right. So first song, here we go.
Cornell is by far the best singer of this era. There is no doubt in my mind. Voice soars. The riff is awesome. Kim's got that slopalicious Ace Frehley kind of solo kind of going on, which is great. I remember the first time I heard it, I'm like, okay, I hope the second song's better. This one's okay. Hearing it the other day, I'm like, wait a second. It kind of sounds like Vaseline a little bit. It's got kind of that same feel. I like the pre-chorus is the best. I like the breakdown. There's a lot of stuff going on. The stuff's not exactly stripped down. But I remember thinking it's an okay opening track the first time I heard it. But, God, I hope the second song's better.
Oh, here we go. Here it starts with this first song. Here we go. For me, an unbelievably killer opening track, a killer of an opener. The riff, the song just rides along. Chris Cornell was saying that they needed a song that was a mid-tempo riff-based song. They wanted to add something to their set list, to their live shows that would be kind of an exciting song, and they came up with "Let Me Drown," and I think it's just, to me, it's one of the standouts on the album. I just love it. And again, we're gonna try to not be a broken record here, but it's a song where just Cornell takes it into another level.
Song was written, music and lyrics by Chris Cornell alone. Again, I'm going to echo Tom. Vocals stands out. The drums. This is what one of the part of this album, like rediscovering it and listening to it with headphones on, a little closer. Matt Cameron's awesome. Damn, is he awesome. He starts off strong with this. It's a driving, rocking kind of song. The screaming vocals at the bridge and that nasty guitar solo there.
Yep.
It is a kind of a kick-ass way to start it. And it's a little bit what reminds me of the old Soundgarden.
Yes.
Like on Bad Motorfinger, a little bit Rusty Cage and a little bit, that's what I expected to be getting. The change doesn't happen till a little bit later, but that's kind of how this album started out, a rocking, driving song.
Absolutely. No, let's go.
All right. So let's move on to number 2.
Wave. I love the verse melody on this. The chorus is a little lazy to me, but I remember the first time hearing it going, okay, here we go. And, to me, the song's like basically about you fuck off and you know what, I'll kind of let you, that kind of thing, which is cool. I'm a huge Richie Kotzen fan. And when Cornell died, there was talks about Richie taking over for Soundgarden. I can hear him doing this song.
Wow.
I can't hear him doing some other songs because Richie has that voice, but he's better stripped down a little bit. All this stuff that's going on, Richie's voice would be kind of lost in this. And I think he's got the same tone to his voice. He probably doesn't have the same power that Cornell has. So, but this is why I can kind of picture Richie singing this one. In my opinion, this song should end at like 3:45, right? But you got, hey, we're grunge. We can't do that. The person hasn't jumped off the bridge yet. Like, we got to keep going. You could cut a minute and a half off this song.
Yeah, you could probably do that with a lot of the songs on this particular album. But this is a great. This is Soundgarden. Attempting to kind of appeal to the masses. It's got a little bit of a pop sensibility that you might not see all the time with Soundgarden. Cornell says I don't really remember exactly where the phrase "keep it off my wave" came from. He said there was a band called the Surf Punks, and they had a line in a song where it said, "Keep off my beach, off my beach." So he said, reduce the attitude of a surfer to that simplicity. That's kind of what he was thinking. I think it's a good song. I think like Sonny said, the chorus gets a little bit lazy, but the verse parts are great. It's got an interesting beat to it during those verses. But yeah, good song for me.
Yeah. Again, this was written, the lyrics by Chris Cornell, but it was written with Kim Thayil, the music.
Mm-hmm.
So the two of them did that. The drums again are solid. Something that I also want to jump on. You're right, Sonny, about keep it off my lane. Like, leave that bullshit off of me. Don't bring that shit to me. In the video, remember the video?
Yep. He's
actually smiling. I'm like, oh shit, he's actually a happy guy. And also, don't piss on my gate. Yeah, I love that shit.
Yep.
There's a lot of anecdotal, like, kind of shit. It's that he does in a lot of this album. Hate if you want to hate. Keep to yourself if it makes you brave. Cry if you want to cry. If it helps you see. If it clears your eyes. Just a lot of stuff that is just, it's clever. It's in my opinion better written from I see it than a lot of the Scott Weiland lyrics, where I'm like, what the fuck do these words mean? They're all in English. I can understand every single word. I see you put them together in a sentence, but this makes no fucking sense to me. And you're supposed to guess what they're saying. You're like, this is, deep shit, but you can understand where he's coming from, and a little more so than Kurt Cobain stuff. I find that shit fascinating. Just again, the voice. I like how his voice just can effortlessly go up and down. Like in the second verse of the lyrics, it's just, when he starts doing the, hey, if you, where he's monotone in the first verse, it's just, I can't explain it. It's just, it gives me chills, but how great and how he to me is a phone book singer. He can sing anything. And it's also, if you see that video, like Malfader is basically barely shown. And I don't blame them because he's a scary looking guy. And God damn it. And the other thing that's a selling point, because we're guys, we don't usually talk about this. He's a fucking really good looking guy. And you can tell he's a good looking guy. Like, it also helps sell the band a little bit more too. Chicks dig him. And he obviously a little more as time went on and he got out of that dirty grunge kind of look.
Yep.
But, he's a good looking, happy guy. And certainly the focal point in any videos they do.
Yeah. And like Zeus said with the lyrics, this is not, put your hand in my pocket, grab onto my rocket, There's a little bit more to these lyrics. This is not, wave your panties in the air, lick your lips and shake your hair. It's not happening here.
When you spread a little oil, my blood begins to boil.
Right. No. There's a lot going on here in these songs.
Yeah, his mind isn't getting dirty around 11:30.
No, it isn't.
Uh-huh.
And he's not going to jump in his car and hit the local titty bar.
He is not. So what do we got next?
Sorry. That was just great. Oh, here we go. Next.
Throughout this album review, you're going to hear me use some acronyms. This one would be AAF, which is awesome as fuck. The emotions just are ridiculous. And I remember hearing this song again the other day going, fuck, I've been here. Like, it can literally happen to anybody. And I was listening to this Cornell interview back a ways, and he said, no matter how happy you are, you can wake up one day without any specific thing occurring and just be in a darker place. To me, that was always a terrifying thought, because that's something, as far as I know, we don't necessarily have control over. And it's crazy that in the end, like, that's what ended up getting him, right? He was supposedly got off stage, was good, was planning his Memorial Day party or something like that, and all of a sudden he's gone, right? That's scary as shit. And I just got chills saying that out loud, actually. And that first line, whatsoever I feared has come to life. Like, that's like every anxiety you've ever worried about and your mind goes to a crazy place. Like, when that shit actually ends up there one day, fuck, that's scary as shit. And so I think the song's great.
Yeah, it's a perfectly written song. Very different from a lot of that sludgy metal type of stuff that Soundgarden was famous for. Cornell talks about, the song is about realizing that you're unhappy in the extreme, which, fell on black days, like Sonny was saying. It's it's so well crafted how he can, how will I know, and the way he just screams that, like he's purging those emotions from him as he's singing the song. And again, we said it earlier, this is a song that if Chris Cornell's not singing this song, you're not buying it. Him singing it is selling it.
Yeah. The vocals are out of this world. The lyrics are out of this world. Exactly what you said, Sonny. That first line of that song is probably exactly, if you think about it, how he went out. Right? Just fucking guy that always had some mental issues and had some depression issues, that he was fighting those demons. He's fighting those demons. And then he's alone in his room, and they just took him over, and it was gone. The video, if you remember the video, that was haunting. That video is awesome, and it looks like how they were, recording that actually album and that song. The lyrics and music alone were Chris Cornell. I have that emotionless monotone voice to that extremely passionate voice again. It just goes to his range, that monotone so you don't lock up something. And then he says, yeah, you wanted to see fly like that. And then he goes right back down to it. And then again, the screaming, sure don't mind the change, right? And then back down to, well, it fell on. Like, who else can do that shit?
Yep.
And you just riding with that whole, it fell on. Like you just, and the music picks up, the drums are awesome. He almost sings it like a zombie, like he's back into this trance. It's just, and by the way, I always thought it was, she don't mind the change. She don't mind the change. Like, right.
Yep.
I can't say enough about this. This is why, basically, number one reason why this album sticks out to me. And, I wanted to do this song. This album, probably because of this song. But let's go to song number 4.
So Sludgy Sabbath comes to mind immediately, right? It's got that monster riff. I love that little high note thing he does in the verse, like, now I want you to receive, right? Like that thing he's doing, which is really cool. The folks that work for me can't listen to this song because, since it's about killing your boss, like this is pretty scary shit. If you work for me, turn it off 20 seconds ago, actually. Chorus is a little lazy, but I like the vocal outro thing he does. And there's a few songs on this album where the end is so cool. And this is one of those songs. But I like the song just because it kind of reminded me of Sabbath. Now, there's been times where I'll take some of these slow songs, throw them in Audacity, and add like 20 to 30% tempo to it to try to speed it up to see how it would sound. It didn't sound any better. Some songs like sound a little bit better sped up. This one doesn't, to be honest. It is what it is, and it's got to be, I guess, as sludgy as it has to be.
I thought this song was about Newman. When I saw Mailman, I just thought it was the Newman. When you control mail, you control information.
All right, you go ahead. You keep it secret. But you remember this. When you control the mail, you control information.
Newman is like 5 years after this, right?
Yeah.
No, I guess it's already going. Yeah.
It's came out in 94, yeah. There are so many slow and sludgy songs on this album, and for some reason, I don't know why, maybe it is Chris Cornell, these are the songs I gravitate to on this album. It's just got Sabbath sludge metal written all over it. And like Sonny said, Cornell said, at a concert, this next one's about killing your boss. It's about coming to work early one morning because you have a special agenda and you're going to shoot him in the fucking head.
See?
Okay,
rewind 20 seconds, turn off.
Yeah, right.
For me.
And I mean, you listen to the opening lyric, hello, don't you know me? I'm the dirt beneath your feet. Like, oof. You know what I mean? You know what's going right there. I want you to receive. It's pretty dark shit, but it's a good song. It's a good song.
Lyrics by Chris Cornell, music by Matt Cameron. A mellotron. I don't know what that is, but Matt Cameron does that. Vocals are insane. You said the exact same thing. You said the word receive, Sonny. My example was you made me disappear. That's what's called a George Jones. Take that fucking word and make it 15.
Fucking George Jones.
Make it 15 fucking syllables. Shut the fuck up when I praise the greatest country singer of all time.
Oh my.
Anyways.
God.
The song is kind of plotting. I love the chorus. I'm the one heading for the bottom. And then I'm riding you all the way. That part is nasty. Yep. And it makes me think of good old Reverend Wright, Tom.
Bill did us just like he did Monica Lewinsky. He was riding dirty.
Oh God. She was riding dirty.
This is grungy.
Oh, absolutely.
This is grungy. Vocals insane again. And just unbelievable shit. Let's go to number 5.
People think this song sounds like Black Sabbath's St. Vitus. It's off of Volume 4. I think it sounds like Misty Mountain Hop. It's got the same kind of feel as Zeppelin's Misty Mountain Hop if you kind of listen to it back to back. Love the verse melody, chorus again, little lazy. But that guitar solo, dude, that Middle Eastern feel in there, the wah pedals like getting a workout, like Kim brings it. Love the lyrics. I think they're about either self-control or self-discipline. I'm not probably too sure about that, but all that shit's on you. It ain't on me, right? Your self-control is kind of on you, no one else. And I love the way the song ends. Like there is this song surprised me. I remember when I first heard it because I was like, sometimes the title track gets a little crazy from a band because they try too hard to make the title track too cool kind of thing. Like, one called Lick It Up. Anyway, I'm sick of that fucking song. But I really like this song.
Yeah, this song is just the way it's just perfectly crafted with that little riff that's kind of rolling in the background. The thing that sticks out for me on this song, obviously other than Cornell's lyrics, is we talked about before, Matt Cameron. He is just his drum beat, and if you pay attention, I'm obsessed with drummers, so I always like picking up on these little things when they're hitting the cymbals or the hi-hats. He's riding those cymbals and those hi-hats throughout this, and he's just keeping this song together. And when the bridge, when it kicks in right before the chorus, when he starts screaming alive in the Superunknown, this is just one of the standouts on for me. It's just a terrific song for me.
Lyrics by Chris Cornell, music by Chris Cornell and Kim Thayil. Again, I had the vocals written down. This is just, again, you're going to be sick of me saying this. I agree with you about the drums, but that Thayil, I did the same thing, Sonny. The solo stands out.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, again, another one of these well-written, well-done music, lyrics, vocals. All of this stuff is insane. I just like, the other part to this is the lyrics and the anecdotes again. If, where he says, if this doesn't take you down, it doesn't mean you're high. If this doesn't make you free, it doesn't mean you're tied. Sounds like Confucius.
Confucius said, crowded elevator smell different to midget.
It's just, the lyrics are great. And it just, again, another example of the opposite of our favorite band, Kiss. It's not so you've been to the market and the meat looks good tonight.
Exactly. Yep.
Yep. It's just a well done song. Yep. So let's move this on to number 6.
Drums at the end are awesome and the guitar parts are cool. And I think the song is What the Fuck Are You So Happy About? Now, you guys don't know this about me. I've never done a drug in my entire life. But if I ever had to listen to this shitty song ever again, I might start shooting heroin. Like Confucius say, how the hell did this song make the album? I do not understand. This song is shit.
And Sonny is talking about Head Down, and it's just not a good song. I just don't know how to say it. I mean, I don't know what they were aiming for. I think this is kind of just some of their experimental, psychedelic kind of whatever the influences are. It's just it's just a skip for me. I mean, I did listen to it because I'm like, maybe it goes somewhere. First of all, it's too long. It's just not something that this isn't what I want to hear when I listen to Soundgarden.
All right. So you both shit on this. This is Head Down, lyrics and music by Ben Shepherd.
There you go.
Maybe.
That's part of the problem.
Don't let the bassist do anything.
We might talk about that later. I have a little rant.
Indian type of music in the beginning, right? That little, and the falsetto throughout the whole song, right?
Yeah.
How he sings it. Kind of a depressing, foreboding type of music. Ooh, prodding along. Now, I will bring up something that you brought up earlier, Sonny. Like the ending. Cut that shit off. You wonder why this is 70 fucking minutes long. Cut that shit down. You don't need it. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's the kind of shit that I see in a concert. It's like, hey, assholes, you could have played 3 more fucking songs instead of this stupid extra shit that nobody likes. You know what I mean? That's the crap that annoys me. But I will say this. I like it.
Oh,
and here's
God.
why I like it.
Oh, boy.
Jesus, we can't have opinions here. Shut
No.
the fuck up, the two of you.
Just hang out. Stop the recording. Stop it right now.
Remember, I control the editing.
Oh, yeah,
so
Jesus.
fuck you.
There we go.
So here we go.
He controls information.
Exactly. When you control the editing, you control the show.
So what I like about this, it honestly reminds me of just why I like the album like Purple. Grunge is different. These type of albums are different. You can put on 10 and be in a mood and play that album through. Same thing with Superunknown. Same thing with I Feel Like Purple. Some of the weaker, and I won't call them weaker, but songs I don't like as much, still fit the mood. This still fits the mood. And look, we can't say that. Go put on fucking Poison. And the next song, has nothing to do with the other song. It's all fucking just mishmash. Let's throw this out. This fits the mood. It's a mellow kind of song in the middle of, an album that's all kind of, got this kind of foreboding, lyric, dark type of grungy kind of music. I think this fits. I like it. I'm not going to fucking put this on when I'm trying to entertain a female. I'm not going to put this on at your birthday party, Sonny. So, but I can listen to the album, and when this comes on, I don't skip it. I like it.
There's your poll. Would you rather hear Head Down or I Want Action? Let's see what poll wins.
Head Down.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I want
action the whole way.
I Want Action? Are you serious?
It's a great song. Yes. That's a fucking great song.
Satisfaction
all night.
I don't know what's worse, the lyrics, the look, or the vocals. That is horrible shit.
I know what's worse. Head Down.
Oh boy.
Terrible. Terrible opinion. Take that Poison shit and fucking throw it into the ocean. All right, let's go.
There's a rumor that Beanhorn, whoever the hell his name is, told Cornell to listen to Frank Sinatra for doing the vocal. I don't hear it. I don't think Chris did his homework. And supposedly Cornell was listening to the news and he thought he heard Black Hole Sun, but that isn't exactly what the person was saying. So that's where the title came from. Song's probably about 60 to 90 seconds too long. Now, all that being said, I actually love this song. And I love when Cornell does that overdubbed backing vocal, because Kotzen does that a lot too, where he's singing it in a place and then the harmonizing is a scream that comes over the top of it. That nobody but Cornell could do that. And I thought it was interesting. He said in the interview the lyrics were a stream of consciousness. I was writing to the field, the music, accepting whatever came out. I don't know what it's about, so I don't know how it connected to a large audience, which I think a lot of this, in other interviews he said about it too. And then I want to get Tommy's take on, is this a ballad?
Oh boy. Is this a ballad?
No way is it a ballad.
No.
There's another poll.
No, it's just a mid-tempo or slower tempoed rock song. But what Sonny said, the thing that sticks out to me other than the song being amazing, a grunge 90s staple, is that section of the song with the overdubbed layered vocals where you're hearing Chris Cornell with his low kind of sad and moody vocals.
What, the Joycey vocals?
Yeah. And then on top of it, just that pitched wail. It's just masterful when you listen to that. And the other thing too, the video is just insane. I mean, the video is just a trip and a half right here. It's just a standout on this album. It's a standout song in general. It's fantastic. It's everything is just awesome about this song.
Lyrics and music by Chris Cornell. Video is surreal, Tom. All the fake smiles and a lot of shit. And all of a sudden danger hits and they fucking all get sucked up and they're all like, ooh. And it's just the background screaming that he does, that whole like screaming like it's from a megaphone, black old child, right? That I can't explain it. But the drums on this too, another surprising part that sticks out for me. I'm echoing a lot of the stuff that you said. It's a brilliantly done song. I enjoy it. So let's move on to the next one.
That a grunge band writes a song called Spoon Man, and it ain't about heroin. How is that? Like, did he miss the point there? I don't know. I love the funk rhythm. That's so powerful, emotional voice with a great vocal melody. I'm a sucker for. You start adding funk rhythms and bringing some of that Prince that I love so much into the mix. Oh my God. It totally does it for me. I'm not sure I've ever heard spoons in a song, including that country bullshit George Jones crap. I don't know if anybody plays.
Why would they have spoons or something?
I don't know. Fuck.
Maybe they're stupid.
Maybe they're stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. And supposedly, Cornell said he was surprised this song made the album because he didn't think it would make the album. He didn't think anybody would like it. And it's one of my favorites. So I'm not exactly sure why he didn't think that Kim would like it.
Yeah, I'm sure, because it's not a good song. It's got a fucking spoon solo. It's got a fucking spoon solo in the middle of it.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, okay, come on. You got one of the greatest grunge guitarists of the 90s. Let's put him aside and have a guy fucking whacking spoons for 30 seconds.
Come on. Open your mind, bitch.
Craig, let's stimulate your mind.
Open your mind, Craig. No, look, it's Soundgarden. It's on the album. It's okay. It's not a go-to song for me. Maybe that has to do with it being overplayed when it was released because it was pounded into the ground on, rock radio, whatever. It's just not one of my favorites. It says it's notable. I don't know in a good way. It features a performance by Artist the Spoon Man, from a street entertainer from Seattle. The title of the song is credited to bassist Jeff Ament of Pearl Jam. While they were on the set of the movie Singles, Ament produced a list of song titles for their fictional band. Cornell took it as a challenge to write songs for the film using those titles, and Spoon Man was one of them. Zeus is laughing. It's fucking Spoon Man.
All right. So me and Tom have a little personal joke about this at Stonehill. Who's Spoon Man?
Our buddy Grasso. We just called him fucking Spoon Man. I don't know how that happened. Why
One of these guys called him that.
Was he a heroin dealer, or he just hugged men interestingly?
Dumb as a spoon or something something like that. It was like,
yeah, it just became an insult. Like, yeah, you're just as fucking dumb as a spoon.
Okay, Spoon Man.
That's what.
So that's why that was another one of those things when we talked about doing this album that I'm like, oh, Tommy, we have a little sentimental feeling about this album because we got it together in Spoon Man. Lyrics and music by Chris Cornell. Additional vocals by Ben Shepherd. I'm wondering, is that him that does the vocal back, like the megaphone thing?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Because it doesn't really. All my friends are Indians. All my friends are brown and that doesn't sound like Cornell.
Maybe.
I love that second verse of all these lyrics where he comes in with that whole megaphone, distorted vocals and stuff. The video is black and white featuring Artist the Spoon Man.
Jesus.
The title, actually, Jeff Ament is credited on the album as titled Jeff Ament. And I think the other part did you mention that from the movie Singles?
Yeah, I talked about that. Yeah.
Okay, yep. Perfect. Guitar solo is pretty good, huh? And then
the spoon solo?
No, there's a guitar solo in there.
I know.
But and I put in there, just like Tommy said, why the fuck am I listening to an album in 1994 with a breakdown of spoons?
So fucking dumb.
I mean, I just to me, okay, it's talent, but is it enjoyable to listen to?
That boy's got talent.
It's not talent. I can do that now at Easter dinner that I'm about to have in a few hours. I'm going to play the fucking solo for Spoon Man.
Yeah. Let's bring in the world's greatest triangle player. Hey, do a triangle fucking thing. He's really talented. Tony the triangle player. Ding, 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 ding. In the middle of a song. I don't get the logic. I don't know.
It's a goofy song, but it was a hit.
They might as well bring in Bucket Boy from the TD Garden that's outside banging on the white buckets at the end of a Bruins game.
Yeah.
I don't know. And at the end of the video, I thought it was kind of funny that, since we're a Kiss podcast, that Artist sticks out his tongue like Gene Simmons in the video and does a whole fucking rock thing.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
So now that we're done with Grasso, let's move this thing around. What's up next?
F describes limo wreck. dreary as fuck. All right, so the vocals cool. I like the chorus. I don't have a clue what this song is about, and honestly, I don't give a fuck because it's also BAF boring as fuck. I can't get into the song. It was painful to listen to it all the way through, to be honest.
Okay, that's a good one because I absolutely love this song. All the slow, sludgy songs on this album. I love this song. It's Soundgarden. It's their strength. It's kind of like what you want from Soundgarden.
What shitty songs? Come on.
I know it's a painfully dreary, slow song. Cornell said that the song is a shame on decadent song. So it's about a limo wreck because who drives in limos? Rich people, superstar celebrities. So now the limo is in a wreck. So it shows them being all, dead or injured or killed or whatever. So it's kind of his symbolic way of saying, fuck all the rich people. But it's one of the standouts on here for me. All these long, sludgy songs. I love it. So that's a good one for me.
I'm with Tommy on this. Fuck you.
Oh
Sonny.
my God.
Lyrics.
Why don't you guys spoon each other?
Yeah. Spoon.
Zeus
man.
is my spoon man.
Yeah. No, that's Murph. I can't take his role.
That's true.
Lyrics, Chris Cornell. Music by Matt Cameron and Kim Thale. Harmonic guidance. The fuck does that mean? Fred Challoner? Something like that?
You don't know what harmonic guidance is? It's like, no, not that way. That way. No, not that way. That one.
Okay, John Popper. What the fuck is harmonic guidance? You're right. Like, hey, I think you're hitting that note a little too much. Oh, okay. It's a prodding song. The vocals on this are fucking off the charts. The repeated chorus is so awesome. And I think you know what I'm talking about. It's that Soundgarden Chris Cornell vocal chorus. The wreck of you is the death. Like, who can do that fucking that good? It just makes me want to hear it over and over. And that pitch and that vocal. Oh my God. And I won't say it again. Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. This is a standout Cornell track. When he's saying, I'm the wreck of you, I'm the break and the fall. And he is just,
God.
He's just shattering the atmosphere with his vocals in that song. It's
amazing.
What?
It kind of reminds me a little bit of why I fell in love with them the first time when I first heard Outshined.
Yeah. Okay.
When they hit that middle part.
Yep.
Oh my God. This is what it reminds me. This is why I can like it. And this is the part we said, Tom. It cannot, like, you put anybody else to sing this, it doesn't work. It does not work. Anyways, that's Limo Wreck. You're up next. What's the next one?
I tried to live. I say it all the time. No good deed goes unpunished. That's basically what the song's about to me. Is like, I try to do the right thing, but I get screwed every time, kind of thing. But you still got to try to do the right thing. That's just how it is. I mean, there's going to be times it doesn't work out. Here's where, we haven't really talked about it much, but if you didn't have the lyrics in the CD, you would have no idea what Cornell is saying in any of these songs. Because the yelping and the vocal and the it's kind of a cool emotional whine that he has to his voice. Sometimes you can't figure out what the hell he's talking about. And that's absolutely true in this song. I think that's what stopped it from being a hit. Because I think this song could have been the biggest hit off the album if he was a little more, I don't know, if he would have explained or maybe said his words a little bit differently. Not sure about that. But I really like the song. Bass and drums definitely drive this song home.
That excuse me. Yeah, it's a great song. It showcases, all the peaks and valleys of Cornell vocally. The chorus is just spectacular. Cornell said that the song is about trying to step out of being patterned and closed off and reclusive. So trying to live, the day that I tried to live. He kind of mentioned it a little bit too, that he kind of considers it a sister song to Fell on Black Days. Kind of like you have a down day and then you have a day that you try to live. He tried to kind of put those together, kind of sister songs. I think it's a standout on the album for sure.
Lyrics and music by Chris Cornell. Video's kind of weird. Some psycho guy in a ward doing all sorts of fucking stupid shit. lyrics are depressing, and it just makes it like it's fruitless. What's the fucking point? One more time around might do it. One more time around to make it. I wallowed at the end of it. He says, the day I tried to live, I wallowed in the blood and mud with all the other pigs. What?
That's amazing.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And if those aren't like direct lyrics, again, this is why I think he kind of stands out for me, makes it easier. Like he's in between that. I think he might be like him and Kurt Cobain, but his lyrics are easier to understand. And then that's why Scott Weiland's just like, what the fuck? Anyways, I just learned that I was a liar just like you.
I deserve good things. I am entitled to my share of happiness. I refuse to beat myself up. I am an attractive person. I am fun to be with.
I'm going to do a terrific show today, and I'm going to help people because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Well, there's a positive outlook on life.
Yep. I know. Amazing.
Oh my God. That's kind of depressing. So let's go to the next one.
Stand. This song's a lot like the early 80s Soundgarden, right? Because Kim's got this punk influence and it rears his head every once in a while. There's no doubt. But if the song is going to be this short, why the hell is it on an album, right? So in the end, it's just a waste of 90 seconds. Like, if you're not going to finish the song, then leave it the fuck alone. Just leave it off the album. So my problem isn't really with the song. It's more with how short it is.
Yeah, I see what Sonny means. It's not a great song, but maybe if it was a little bit more developed and turned into a full-length track, maybe it could have been something. It's just not what I want to hear from Soundgarden. It kind of sticks out on the album, with the really fast tempo. It's just not a standout for me.
Lyrics by Chris Cornell, music by Kim Thayil. Only 1 minute and 33 seconds. Fast paced, punkish. I like it. I like when he says, "My mother says it's all right." You know what this reminds me of? This is Pearl Jam's "Lukin."
Yes, good one.
Right?
Okay.
Where it's like, dude, did this song just end? What the fuck? And then you're like, motherfucker, take those extra like 30, 40 seconds on every other song and add some of that to this song. Because you're right. You're like, hey, what do you got for the album? Here's a demo I got. Throw it on. We don't want to cut anything out. Like, it's a good thing, but it's unfinished. But whatever, it's not bad. I don't mind it. And you're right, Sonny. It is, Bad Motorfinger and before and beyond and prior Soundgarden sounding. Let's move on. We are now down to track number 12.
What is a fresh tendrils? Is that what it is?
Stop.
Tendrils?
I looked this up.
I didn't have to look it up because I'm smarter than both of you. I know what it is.
I looked it up. But go ahead. Since you
go
know
ahead,
it.
Tommy. Smarter than the average bear.
Go ahead. No, I don't want to shit on Zeus's research. Go ahead.
No. I want to hear it.
No, go ahead.
We want to see if you know it better than what I did.
Go ahead, Yogi. Go ahead, Yogi.
What I know of the word tendrils it's what usually if a slug is rolling along, what they leave behind. Tendrils.
Ew. No, that's not what I thought.
Okay.
I always thought tendrils were something like an octopus fingers or something that sticks and grabs you.
Yeah, okay.
So I looked it up.
Yeah.
A tendril is a thread-like appendage of a climbing plant entwines around any suitable support. So I would guess it's like something that climbs around like an octopus's arm or a plant's arm, something like that. I don't know if maybe what you said is right. Maybe that's a different definition. I don't know. That was the first thing I saw on Wikipedia when I fucking looked it up.
Yep. Go ahead, Sonny.
Anyways.
Listen to the song. The riff's cool, right? But I've never really connected to the song. So I was like, the song's just meh. I wonder what it is. I happen to be listening to ridiculous rock record reviews, our buddy Aaron Martell, and they did this album. So I was kind of bouncing up and down, see if they agreed with some of the stuff I was writing down. And somebody on the podcast said it reminded them of Pink Floyd. That's what the problem is, because Pink Floyd sucks ass. That's why I don't like this song.
Okay, I got nothing on Pink Floyd on this song, and what I will say instead is that to me, this is an absolute standout on this album. I put this as one of the. I put this as
this has got to be a joke. You're joking, right?
Fresh Tendrils. I think first of all, when it starts off, when he says "long time coming" and he's got that monotone, and then the next verse, he changes his pitch and he gets up high, and then when he's saying "throw yourself away" and he's screaming. Oh, I think to me, I think this is a standout song that had potential to be a hit for them on this album. I fucking love it. One of my favorites on the album.
Lyrics by Chris Cornell and Matt Cameron. Music by Matt Cameron. Clavinet by Natasha Schneider. Tom, I don't agree with you.
That's okay.
Woohoo, finally.
That's okay.
It's a plotting song. I like the riff. You're right, Sonny. I like the riff. The vocals again stick out. Maybe it's something that I haven't heard as much as the other songs on it. Maybe if I listen to it a couple hundred more times, I'll like it more. I like it. It's, the vocals again on Long Time Coming. It's just the words, every syllable, every little thing. It just fluctuate. It's incredible. I don't know. It just never, maybe because it wasn't it didn't seem like the common chorus or that it could wrap itself around. It just didn't have that hook on this. And I don't know. I like it. I'm not crazy about it. But for me, it's certainly not a standout. I mean, it's one of the weaker songs on this album.
Wow. Okay.
But I mean, again, a weak song on Superunknown is a great song on most other albums.
Untrue, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll see at the end of this, Sonny, won't we?
Oh, yeah, we will.
All right.
4th of July, whether this song's about LSD or PTSD, the song is boring. BAF. The song is boring as hell. Boring as fuck, honestly. I tried speeding this up in Audacity. It was still not that great. I like the riff. And I like when his vocal doubles about a minute and a half in, because I think that's always kind of a cool thing. But the song's just very, very boring.
Oh, my Lord. This actually offends me. This is offensive.
You're
This
offended?
is an offensive opinion.
It's an objectionable, offensive odor.
I've offended Yogi.
I'm not going to give away my rankings or anything, but holy shit, is this song spectacular. Oh my God. This is a go-to song for me on this album without a doubt. Everything about it is just, I don't know. We'll get into it when we do rankings, but this is one of my favorites.
All right. 4th of July lyrics and music, both by Chris Cornell. Again, you'll see a trend here. I'm with Tommy on this. This song is, it's just another prodding, grungy song. But again, I write down his vocals make it. I thought it was the end, and I thought it was the 4th of it's just that chorus. And it's not a hooky chorus, but his voice, the way he sings it in every little word, in every little syllable makes it. I like the guitar solo. It's supposedly inspired by one of his LSD trips he took on an Indian reservation. The lyrics, again, thought I was the only one, but that was just a lie. And everywhere, no one cares. That phone book voice of his. I could listen to anything, and he makes this. Think about the music. You take the music off, you'd be like, this is fucking horrible. What is this shit? It sounds like the fucking funeral march by fucking Chopin or something. I don't know what it is. It just reminds me of why I like that era of what's considered grunge music.
Yep.
Lane Staley, Scott Weiland, Kurt Cobain's voice, Eddie Vedder. Oh, it's just like those distinct voices. So although hair metal had people that could hit fucking incredible high stuff like Rob Halford and others, right? These voices are just distinct. That's why I like something like Stephen Pearcy's voice or something like that. A distinct voice that can, you hear it and you're like, oh, that's so-and-so. But Cornell doesn't have just a distinct voice. He has an incredible voice. And this song should be garbage and it's not just because of him.
By the way, I Googled a correction. Every time I Googled tendrils, it showed me a picture of a fucking snail. That's why I thought it had to do with a snail.
Does it say it like
no
as a snail?
No, no, but it showed snails climbing onto tendrils, which is what you said, like the arms of a plant or the arms of something.
Okay.
So I was wrong. Mistake. Correction issued.
And yes, Priest fans, you just did hear Zeus say Rob Halford is hair metal. So you can send your complaints to Shout It Out Loudcast at gmail.com.
What the fuck is Turbo Lover?
It's one song. That's what the fuck it is. Priest is like 50 years.
Parental guidance. We don't need, if that's not a fucking Kiss wannabe hair metal type Bon Jovi song, I don't know what is.
Here we
now,
go.
Listen, I will tell you this. They're not really hair metal. I'm saying that era, okay? And that type of music. And basically all those bands, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Bon Jovi, Poison, it's the same fan base. They're all listening to it. So the fact that I call it hair metal, get your fucking panties out of your asshole that I called it hair metal. It's the same fan base. It doesn't make a difference. They're still talking to the same audience or buying those records. So relax. Frank Sinatra.
If you want to get your panties in a bunch, you can get them in a bunch after I tell you that it doesn't matter what you call it because all of it sucks.
Oh my god.
Judas Priest doesn't suck.
I got it bunching over here because you guys think this song is good, to be honest.
Oh god. Sonny's going to punish us. His next pick is going to be a Priest.
No, because he's got his fucking panties in bunch because he used a coupon last week from Adam and Eve, and he's got a fucking hot rod fucking stick up his ass. But go ahead, you're up next.
Okay, so I got a little rant, but before I start my rant,
I take half his shit, and they'll get it. They'll get you half your money, your house, your car, alimony, child support, and your children. You'll be on the cover of the Inquirer like this. So be careful.
this song half transported me right back to when I was like 6 years old, listening to this shitty 8-tracks that my dad used to listen to about like Middle Eastern music on that fucking console, right? The console, the record player, you open up the top, you know, that kind of shit. The song reminded me of a very long quote. I'll read it verbatim here. Now listen to me, jerk off. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Quit being part of the fucking problem and put the other guy back on. So in other words, Shepard, give the mic back to Cornell, sit down, and shut the fuck up. That's what this song tells me.
Yeah, it's just very. We've used this term when we talk about some Kiss records. It's just very self-indulgent. It's it kind of reminds me of when like Van Halen put Apolitical Blues on OU812, or you know, there's just no need for it. It's not grunge. It's not Cornell. It's just there's just no need. I mean, at least make it the last song, but that's just there's no need for it.
This version's of Bugs.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Just like, what the fuck is this doing on here?
Which is also very self-indulgent on Vitalogy.
Oh,
yeah.
What? Hey, Foxy motherfucker, whatever the fuck that is, too. Just Pearl Jam had a habit of doing this shit too.
Yep.
Lyrics and music by Ben Shepherd. I think there's a common theme when it's Ben Shepherd doing the music.
Sucks.
You guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Viola player in guitar, vocals is Ben Shepherd on this. Viola is April Aceves. Cello, Justin Foy. It's Indian music in the beginning. It sounds like Zeppelin Middle Eastern breakdown. But that breakdown at the end, it reminds me of the How Many More Times Zeppelin kind of breakdown, where they start talking, when Robert Plant starts talking about all the women and stuff, and there's that kind of moody, creepy kind of music. That's the best part of the song. When he stops, I don't know if that's called singing. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't either.
But when it gets into that little mood stuff, I can listen to that as part of like an interlude between songs because it fits the mood. I don't understand it. And Cornell says he refused to sing it because he would lose its character. So Ben had to sing it.
Ugh.
No, you didn't want to sing it because you're like, even I can't do shit with
That's
this
right.
song, right?
Exactly. He's like, I'm gonna let you die on this hill, Ben. Go with it.
Yeah.
You know
Go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you know? It reminds me of that whole Creedence Clearwater Revival shit, where John Fogerty would always write all the music, write all the lyrics, produce everything, do the guitar parts, do everything. And they had his brother and the other shitbags in the band. And they're like, oh, this isn't fair. I should be doing stuff. And their last album, he's like, okay, everybody do 3 songs and come back. And the album fucking tanked and the band just broke up. That's him saying, okay, everybody bring in some stuff. Okay, you bring this, okay, Ben, let's see how you do with this. Here you go. That passive aggressive shit.
That's exactly what it is.
Right? Well.
Same shit Paul used to do to Peter. Yeah, that's good, Peter. Yeah, put that on your own shitty solo album. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, here we go. He's shitting on Peter's solo album now, Zeus.
The only reason he would be saying that would be because that song Hooligan. But other than that, he'd be nuts.
Fuck.
Anyways, yeah, you're right, Tom. This should be the last song on the album.
Yeah.
But thank God it's not, because here it comes.
Took The Day I Tried to Live, moved that in front of Limo Wreck, and just end the album because this song is not that good. I like Suicide. I'm sorry. I think the story of, Robin hits the house and breaks his neck and he ends up smashing it over the head with a brick to end his suffering. That's better than what this song is. And even he said it got vetoed initially. It should have just stayed vetoed. It's a terrible way to end the album. I'm sorry.
Speechless. I don't even know where to fucking go right now. The fact that, see, this is why I'm glad we picked this album, because we have one person saying that the song should not even have been on the album. And then you have me and potentially Zeus. I don't know where to go. All I can say is just, it's fucking amazing. And we'll save it when we get into the rankings and etc.
Lyrics and music by Chris Cornell, Prodding Song, Haunting. It's just, vocals are unreal. The lyrics, the drum, that guitar outro that Kim Thayil does, awesome. The vocal range, Chris Cornell, I know, same old shit I keep saying throughout this whole thing. That monotone, Chris Cornell, and then in the first couple verses, right? And then he writes, then he goes to that higher pitch, bit down on the bullet now, I had a taste so sour. That is insane. The talent it takes to do that. Yeah, I mean, it reminds me a little bit of Birth Ritual, which I'm a
song.
Huge fan of from Singles.
Killer song.
Oh my God. And thank God I have Tommy here with this, because this whole album would be, this is fucking awesome. And then you'd say, this sucks. You're on the same page with me. Every one of these is just Cornell and his voice and the music, and he makes everything work. This song should be like, if anybody else did this, you'd be like, this is a parody of what people would think is grunge. No, but this is perfect for grunge. This is what it is. People misinterpret the lyrics, what he's talking about. He's not talking his own suicide, but it's just, off the charts. And it is the last song on the album.
Yep.
We discussed this earlier that, we weren't going to do She Likes Surprises, which is like the 16th song. Mm-hmm. It's on the bonus when they did a redo of the album. We're not going to get into it. We're talking about the 15 songs that are on the original album. So we're going to end there. Yep. Obviously we threw out a lot of stuff. Any overall opinions of what we just talked about, Sonny? We can start with you.
They're seriously talented musicians. Not guys I would want to hang out with unless I was doing my personal leaving Las Vegas kind of thing. Because you got to be in an okay mood to listen to some of this shit. Like after I listened to this, I put on a couple of Prince albums because I was like, it was still during the day. So I was like, I can't be in this mood the whole time. Some of this is depressing shit. That's how grunge is to me kind of all the time. So I will tell you, when I listen to this album, I listened to basically about the about half of it that I really, really like. And then the other half I just don't even listen to.
Yeah, it's not like we said at the beginning. It's not a feel good album. It's not an album that you kind of throw on when you're having like a cookout or, hey, my friends are coming over. Yeah, why don't you throw on Like Suicide or throw on Superunknown? Like, but that being said, for this era, for this style of music, I think it's just a crowning achievement in the grunge era music for sure for me.
Yeah, and so you talk about the mood. No one's saying to be in the mood for the whole, day.
Oh yeah,
but
right.
It can take you to a place that there's a time and place for everything.
Yep.
I'm not gonna play fucking. I want to rock and roll all night and party every day after I just left my uncle's funeral. All right, but if I've had a day at work or something, it's kind of bugging me. And I'm driving home. I want to listen to some. Maybe I'll put this on, or maybe if it's raining and I'm like just having a beer outside and just watching the rain, sitting on a chair. Fuck yeah. I want to play this.
Yeah.
It's just, again, overall, I'm so happy we were able to review it because I honestly lost that understanding of how awesome this album was and that whole era. Yeah. And so what we usually do after we do our album review, we do a breakdown of the tracks and rank them. So let's go. I have this. I'm not sure who's gone first. So who went last couple times? Does anybody remember?
No.
Okay.
I'll go first.
All right. So Tom is going to go first. Number 15, Tom.
Half.
Sonny.
Half.
Our first ever three-way agreement. Half.
Because Sonny wanted to be a bozo and not put Apolitical Blues last when we did OU812.
Because they didn't write that song.
Right.
How is that not the fucking first? I know. That I think about it, Tom, I guess somebody would have been, oh, yeah, you definitely did that for OU812, right? Apolitical Blues. No. All right. Number 14, Tom.
Head down.
Head down.
Everybody down. No.
Put that cookie down now.
I took, Tommy's not going to like this, Fresh Tendrils.
Oh, dear God. Boy, these rankings, once we get these rankings,
they're about to get ugly now.
This is going to get all.
Again, remember, this is something like even half I can deal with it. I like. So just because I put Fresh Tendrils down just means I don't like it as much as the others. Doesn't mean I don't like it. I like it. 13 to Tom.
And I'll be completely honest with you. Full disclosure, during this recording, I have changed my ranking.
Oh, yeah, so did I a few times.
So do I.
I have not.
Sonny's like, I have not. This is a mood album, and it depends. I mean, the first two songs on my rankings were never going to change. That was always 1 and 2.
Same with me.
All right, so 13 for me, I got Kickstand.
13 for me is Limo Wreck.
Oh, okay.
13 for me, Let Me Drown.
Whoa. Very different. 12 for me, Spoon Man.
Wow. 12 for me is Fresh Tendrils.
Wow.
Attaboy. 12 for me, Spoon Man.
Oh, okay. 11 for me, Mailman.
11 for me, Like Suicide.
Oh my God.
What the fuck? Oh my God.
I would have put it further down, but Shepard wrote a couple of songs.
Oh boy.
11 for me, Head Down. Everybody down.
10 for me, Fell on Black Days.
Oh my God. What?
Oh, it's gonna get worse.
Yeah. 10 for me is Kickstand.
God. Yeah, I'm stuck on Tommy's. Oh my God. 10 for me is Kickstand.
9 for me, My Wave.
9 for me, 4th of July.
Oh.
9 for me, Mailman.
8 for me, Limo Wreck.
8 for me, Mailman.
8 for me, Superunknown.
Oh wow. Okay. That's my number 7. 7 for me is Superunknown.
7 for me is Let Me Drown.
7 for me is 4th of July.
Oof. 6 for me, The Day I Tried to Live.
6 for me is Black Hole Sun.
6 for me, Black Hole Sun.
5 for me is Let Me Drown.
5 for me is My Wave.
5 for me is My Wave. Holy shit, I'm matching with Sonny a lot.
4 for me, and you can suck it both. Fresh Tendrils.
You're officially sucking it because of that pick. 4 for me is The Day I Tried to Live.
4 for me, The Day I Tried to Live.
3 for me, Black Hole Sun.
3 for me is Superunknown.
3 for me, Limo Wreck.
Nice.
Wow. Why?
These top 2 flip-flop for me, but I settled on this one. Number 2 for me is 4th of July.
Number 2 for me is Fell on Black Days.
Number 2 for me is Like Suicide.
And that is my number 1, Like Suicide, by far.
And you guys are nuts because number 1 is Spoon Man.
Oh, you've got to be. There's no way you're doing that seriously.
My number 1 is Spoon Man. I love that song.
Oh, my goodness.
This is why we do this.
My number 1 is Fell on Black Days.
Wow. A lot of different things all over the place here with this ranking. Wow.
I think I know what's going to be number 1, but go ahead, Sonny. Do you have the rankings?
All right, so
top 3 or 5?
Third was Black Hole Sun. Tied for second was Like Suicide and The Day I Tried to Live. And number 1 was Fell on Black Days.
Wow. I'm not going to argue with any of that. I will argue with Spoon Man being number 1.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's a great song.
I'm telling you right now, some of the feedback we get on this, Sonny's got another nickname. It's like Sonny fucking can't rank list Pooney or something. Like, I don't know. This may be more egregious than having apolitical blues not last on OUE 1-2.
No, I cannot believe you guys like that shit like Suicide.
Oh, my
Good
God. That song.
Oh, my God. I will never listen to that song again after this.
So me and Tommy, after we do an album review, we also, behind the scenes, have been tracking where we rank every song. So therefore, we're not ranking every Kiss song all at once. We're doing it per album. We can eventually do this. The fact that Apolitical Blues is not the worst song, well, actually, half might be there.
Half is the worst song.
I started having nightmares. I was waking up in the middle of the night like this. Ah!
I don't know. I would probably put Apolitical Blues as probably the worst.
No. Because at least you got Sammy.
I was just going to say, Sonny has a point. At least you have Sammy's voice on Apolitical Blues.
Yeah, but it's on shit. Right, and this song isn't that long, and half of it's instrumental.
Okay.
Yeah, we should argue which one's worse.
There's your poll.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, so what do we do next? Rank the albums now, right?
Yes. We could do covers. Do you want to do covers?
I'll do that. Yeah.
Do you remember the covers?
Yeah.
So okay,
we got
Appetite for Destruction.
Yep.
We have Slide It In. We have what was the fucking one? OU 812. And we have Superunknown. So
yeah, we'll do what we do for the Kiss album reviews. We
why
do
don't
songs.
we do this? I'll do first. I'll be first this time.
Okay.
Tommy, you be last. Sonny be in the middle.
Okay.
And then the next one, Sonny will be first or whatever. All right. So my worst one on here.
Wait. Are you doing album cover or
album cover? Album cover.
Okay.
So I would probably say that the worst album cover is OU 812. Tom?
Oh, it's definitely OU 812. Unless Sonny. Here we go. Here comes Sonny with the bad list.
It is.
Okay. Thank God.
What?
It's the worst.
Logic.
We all agree.
The third, I would put Superunknown as third.
Me too.
Me 3.
Wow. And then I would say 2 is Slide It In.
That's a tough one for me, but I'm gonna have to do I'll have to do that as well. I know it's a cool album cover with a snake going down the chest and everything, but
no, Appetite's number 2.
Okay.
All right, number 1 for me is Appetite.
Yeah, me too. I just think that cross with the skulls.
Oh my God, it's
just
so original
it's
and
iconic.
ahead of its time, and it's now being so common that you don't take its brilliance for what it was back then.
I could
give me
see
give me the sexy woman with a snake any day.
Yeah, I could see that.
You are the horniest man.
Do I make you horny, baby? Do I?
Unbelievable.
Promo code Poonie.
All right. So I've gone first. Tommy's gone first. I'll be in the middle. Tom will be last. Sonny, you start first. As far as favorite albums that start with number 4.
Superunknown.
I knew it. That was easy. It's not even fucking close. OU812 is fucking number 4.
Yeah, for me too.
All right. Number 3, Sonny.
OU812.
For me, this is the hard. This is Kissel.
This is tough.
This is the hardest one.
This is Kissel.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to go by. I'm going to say that it's Slide It In for me.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I think I would have to. I think I would have to lean slightly towards Slide It In at number 3. That's a tough one for me, though.
All right, Sonny, the second.
Second for me is Appetite.
Wow. For me, it's obviously at this point, Soundgarden, Superunknown.
Yep, that's 2 for me also.
Sonny, number 1.
Number 1 for me, Slide It In.
Okay. For me, obviously, it's Appetite.
Yep. Me too. It's tough because it's one of those mood things. Whenever you're ranking, it's like I want to listen to Slide It In today. I don't want to listen to Superunknown, and then the next day,
that's just the thing. Anytime Appetite comes on, like I don't have to be in a mood. I can play this anytime. So I don't know. I'm pumped. I love how we just did these rankings. So let's go quickly. We're going to move this over into our favorite part of the program. You make me rock. Makes you rock hard today.
Well, since everybody's in their homes, figured I'd give a recommendation of a movie that I saw the other day, Hunt for Red October. What a great movie, right? It's based on the novel. Sean Connery, Alec Baldwin, Scott Glenn. I mean, there's James Earl Jones. It's one of those movies.
Wait a minute, who?
James Earl Jones?
Okay.
Not George Jones, fucker.
I thought you said James Merle.
Merle. But it's one of those movies that I enjoy that doesn't have like a female lead, really, right? There's not really a love interest. There's really none of that. It's just basic guy movie, I guess. But it's a great movie from 1990. Whatever. From 1990. Not bad. Holds up, too.
Yep. Good one. For me, another recommendation. So anybody that listens or maybe follows my personal page, if I'm not talking about Kiss and rock music, whatever, I'm talking about horror movies. That's my thing. So if you're not familiar with the streaming service called Shudder, Shudder, it is it's all horror streaming. It is fucking amazing. And because of what we're doing right now, because of the virus and the shutdown, they're doing an unbelievable promo. They usually have a 7-day free trial, but if you use the promo code SHUTIN, SHUTIN, they're giving people a 30-day free trial. And if you're a horror movie fan, I can't stress enough. It's got all the classics. It's got, all the Friday the 13th. It's got the Halloween sleepaway camp, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But then it has a lot of exclusive originals that go direct to Shudder. It has documentaries. They're actually starting to create some original series, horror related. Everything's broken down into categories. You know, if you like supernatural, if you like slashers, if you like demons, it's you can't beat it with the free trial. So if you're a horror movie fan, I can't stress enough, I'm always checking it out. So it's very cool. Shudder, Shudder.
So for me, I'm going to say something similar to this album. I would guess that I'm going to say Stone Temple Pilots. As I told you, I did the whole thing with Baco and we reviewed Purple, Stone Temple Pilots' second album. And between this, Hot in the Shade, Soundgarden, Purple, I think I got into Purple more than any of them, and remembered why I love that album and why I love the band. Stone Temple Pilots, got put into that grunge era, kind of similar like to what I said to you earlier, that blasphemy of Judas Priest and the hair metal, but they got put in it because it's the same audience they were going to. That's how I look at it. And they have some musical, the music on their albums, the DeLeo brothers, are fantastic. They get very much overlooked. I can listen to Daisy on their third album from the Vatican, Tiny Gifts, a million times, and it's just this little guitar thing they do, instrumental. I can listen to that all day long. And then just Weiland's vocals, his lyrics are fucked up. The songs kick ass, and especially Purple. That to me is the holy grail for me for grunge albums of that era. STP Core, everyone knows, but they've got some other great songs on other stuff. Tripping on Paper Hard, their whole. You've got 7 Cage Tigers. You got it's just tons of great shit. You don't like Sour Girl either?
Real quick, Stone Temple Pilots, for me personally,
Because it's personal business. It's my personal private business.
got worse with each album, and that means I think Purple is worse than Core.
Oh, no.
That's okay.
They also, for me, I still think Purple is their masterpiece, but I still like the other albums.
Okay.
I just find him to be a genius.
Yeah.
Scott Weiland, vocally and everything else. Anyways, that's what I've been listening to, and that's what's making me rock hard lately.
Nice.
Perfect. Sonny, where can we find you?
grownuprock.com. On the Grown Up Rock podcast, you can find it anywhere your greater podcasts are, and Podcast Rock City if you're in the KISS podcast.
Yeah. And make sure you check out both of those. If you're listening to us, you've heard both of those, but in case you haven't, Podcast Rock City and Grown Up Rock for sure.
Yeah, and a special hello to your partner out there, Steven,
Yep.
you guys got a few new episodes out recently this week. I saw one this morning. Everyone go give them a listen to. Tom, where people can find us?
We're on all the social medias like everybody else, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, podcast is everywhere, all your favorite platforms. We always say we're part of the Pantheon podcast, so check us out, check those shows out. We're everywhere, so look for us.
Yeah, and the big thing for us, especially the album reviews, email us.
Yes.
Hit us up on social media. Email us your thoughts. Did you like the album? Did you agree with Sonny? Did you agree with Tom? Did you agree with me? Do you hate Tom? Do you hate me? Do you hate Sonny? Do you want to punch Sonny in the face for these awful fucking opinions?
Wow. Really?
Like, we want to hear about it, right?
Spoon Man is punchable in the face material.
No, it's not.
Anyways, shout it out loudcast at gmail.com. Shout it out loudcast at gmail.com. Direct messages, tweet, Facebook. Tell us what you thought about this album review. We want to hear from you, and we'll certainly read it on the air. Any emails that we've gotten recently we want to get to real quick?
Real quick here, we got one from a Dan Alexander about the OU812. He said, "Gentlemen, finish what you started. The video as a kid, I loved it. I thought the women were so hot in it." Then he says, "Do a KISS bracket of KISS bass lines." Okay, Dan, thank you for the email, but that would be almost impossible to do. But thank you for the email, Dan. We appreciate it.
Sonny?
Yeah, we got one from our friend Jerry Blackwell about the OU812 album. He says, shitty album, but great episode by you guys. Fucking hilarious content. I love the jokes, references, etc. Gap Band rules.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And gotta admit, Sonny's rankings were the best on this one. He must be talking about the episode we're doing right now. Like he can see the future.
That has to be the only person, and we picked that one for him to read. His fucking ego is going to get enormous. The only person that's commended his fucking song rankings. Unbelievable. Anyways, I'll end it with Angelo Capasso, who loves to fucking send us emails. Keep sending them, Angelo. We do read them. OU812, very well done, boys. Exclamation points. I am one of the few out here that loves that album from cover to cover. I know, even a political blues. This is Sonny's fucking alter ego. But I can't believe you missed the mark on Mine All Mine. Look at the link below. That is the real reason Sammy wrote the tune. I don't know. He sent me a link. Peace out, Girl Scout. Thanks, nice. Angelo. Love getting your emails. Guys, to end this episode, we usually like to end on famous last words. Who's got one first?
Here, I'll go first. I woke the same as any other day, except a voice was in my head. It said, seize the day, pull the trigger, drop the blade, and watch the rolling heads.
Oof, good one.
Jesus. I think we'd call one of those alerts on him. His family would call alert on him if he saw that now.
Well, this one isn't much better since it is off Superunknown, the album, so... So slip down the darkness to the mouth. Damn the altar, burn the wine. I'm going home for the very last time. Happy Easter, everybody.
Is someone going to do a wellness check on this guy? What the fuck? She lived like a murder. How she'd fly so sweetly. She lived like a murder, but she died just like suicide.
There's an exclamation point to this episode.
Yeah.
I think we lost half our audience, just killed themselves.
Yep. Oh, no. We lost half our audience when you guys said Limo Wreck was good.
Oh, Jesus.
Zeus, you want me to kill myself?
Exactly.
That's our friend Rye Guy when I played I don't even know what song it was. He was like, what the hell is this? Yep. Anyways, Sonny, thank you. Tom, thank you. Kiss Army, thank you.
Everybody, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this. This is a good one for us. Hopefully you think the same. If not, let us know. Sonny, thank you guys. Zeus, thanks everybody. Enjoy. Have a good day.
Thanks everybody for listening.
Peace out, Girl Scout.